And we live at 5.
Ooh, we live. We are live.
Live. Mic on too, huh?
Mic on. Toya, let me say something, Toya. Make sure your mic on.
Something for you, Michael.
Mic on. Mic on. Professional mics on. We here. I'm back. I'm back. What The Rock used to say? Finally, The Rock has come back to the chopper.
You're crazy.
Head ass. He looking at that too, huh?
You're crazy.
Hit him with the brown. The Rock says, yeah, we in here. Damo is back, man. I know y'all miss me. Don't nobody come to see George.
Oh, y'all miss me. Wow. They
I
definitely
know
come
you.
to me.
Don't nobody come to see George. Don't nobody come to
They
see Toya.
definitely
They come to see Damo, the political plug. We in the building. I missed y'all.
Hey, shout out to you, man.
going
What up,
on.
Noel, Marco, Jumby?
What up? What up? What up?
What up with y'all, man? We back, man. We about to be back at it like crack addicts, man.
Well, you know,
Okay.
we like to push through. And
Yeah. Nah, man. Listen, I'm excited, man. I missed y'all. As y'all can see, I got a whole new back. Well, I ain't done with it. It's the office. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll be getting all set up and everything. You feel me? Your boy done moved. I'm over here in North Hollywood now.
Life.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
Hollywood life.
I
Yeah,
left the beautiful Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? I love Long Beach. Long Beach is, you know what I'm saying, will always have a special place in my heart.
Hollywood now. Yeah, he
I'm
went all Hollywood on us now.
Worse. I'm North Hollywood on boys. I'm
Yeah.
super bougie. I'm North Hollywood on board.
Yeah,
we gotta
so
show
we know
love
what it
real
is.
quick. Mr. Hollywood. So Hollywood, we got Hollywood and Beyonce in here. What up with baby Oku? What up with John? What's good with it? And Bessa, what's going on? Khadijah, Noel, and Marco shouting out that blue check league out. We're ironically going to talk about that today. It's going to be a whole little conversation. So we'll slide into a little bit more elaboration on that blue check. Danielle, we back. We happy to see you back. It's been too long.
Pinky Promise Life, what's good with you?
Yeah. Pinky Promise Life. Katie up in here. Daewoo 5. Dana, what's going on? Greetings to you. Welcome. Come on in here and hit share real quick. Let other people know what you up to this evening. I know you don't like to let people in your business like that, but go ahead and let them know just a little bit. Let them know you watching the chop up tonight. Let them know we're about to get into the cool conversation because we got a little bit of everything coming. It's back to school season, but this is a unique one, so we're gonna get into that a little bit. Then we're gonna slide over to talk about what's happening around us, but not necessarily on our block, but not necessarily this block. A little bit down the road. You know what I'm saying? So internationally, what's happening? Down the way a little bit. And then, like I said, we're going to holler at Mr. Blue Check himself, because I ain't ever seen one of them, and talk to Lee about what that look like. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I don't know too many people with blue checks. You feel me? So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I had to know this guy.
Appreciate it, man. It's been a hell of a journey. No lie.
Definitely, what's up with Jaleesa? What's happening with Hannah?
Yeah.
Ready to rock.
Yeah.
Share it, do all the stuff with it, interact with it. You know what I'm saying? We love the comments, y'all drop. Make sure if you're gonna comment on it, you might as well tell us how you feel about it. Did you like it? Did you love it? Do you care about it? We don't know. Do you want to thumbs up it? You can thumbs down if you want to. Engagement is engagement. That's your business. But go ahead and drop something with it. Engage with these posts so we can boost it, get it up in the algorithms. All that little math we got to do. But it happens because of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you
only happened because of y'all. You know
definitely. We love y'all for it. Rings ablaze was happening.
And look, we got a nigga with a blue check on here, so y'all should really be getting them numbers up. We official in this motherfucker. We official in these. We got a celebrity.
Hey, with the blue check though, suppression still happens with the blue check. Believe it or not. We're
gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah. Before we get into the show, before we start the show officially, you feel me? Now that George has the blue check, does he deserve his own big chop to you? Does he deserve his own big chop? Should we give him a big chop?
I think every chop with Lee is a big chop. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll elaborate more on it when we get there. Let's go ahead.
Nah. We can't have look. June said it. Nah, we can't let that nigga get too big for his britches.
I agree, June. You don't need no.
You still a co-host. You still a co-host around this motherfucker. We'll blue check.
Oh yeah. You feel me? It's still the chop up team right now, so we ain't gonna make it about that.
In the game, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Gang shit.
Going on in there. Start the. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, when you ain't said nothing but a word, y'all know how we do. To get it cracking, we start the show the way that we always start the show. Let's get it.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.
Hey, bet I be there pronto. We back.
We back.
We
live too.
Wow, oh, live than a little too loud. Let me calm down. Nah, but this is the Chop Up Show. I am Damo, the political plug. I know y'all missed me. I done missed a few great shows. I'm kind of salty. You feel me? We had our indigenous peoples in here holding it down while I was gone. You feel me? Other great conversations taking place, but I'm back. And who am I here with? Y'all already know.
Hey, it's your girl Toya G. Happy to be back with y'all. It is a beautiful Monday in August. You know, we pushing through, making things happen. A lot of plot twists going on around us this week. We're gonna get into a whole lot of those. I mean, and these is collective plot twists. I'm talking about as a people. It's interesting. But we happy to have y'all with us. I'm happy to see y'all again. I'm happy to be back on the live with Lee, with the plug. I'm feeling good. It's just good to be with y'all. What up,
man? Y'all know it's education, it's elevation. It's your boy George Lee, aka Conscious Lee. Don't forget the Lee. Hey, y'all get over there to GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com. We got some great things coming your way. Also, starting September 1st on Wednesday, we got Conscious Conversations exclusively on YouTube.
Conscious Conversations, y'all stay tuned for that. Because the boy Lee is having conversations with a lot of people across social media. So if you want to catch some of that dialogue, make sure y'all subscribe to the Conscious Lee on YouTube, as well as the Chop Up Show everywhere else. Y'all know how it go. Now, introductions out the way, right? Glad to see some of my favorite people again. You feel me? We back ready to get it started. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this dialogue. Toya, let's get it cracking with the Snapchat.
All right, y'all. So we know, and I'm on Instagram right now. Y'all say what's up to the Instagram fan. We're trying to get the people from the IG page. If y'all not following it right now, make sure y'all go follow the Chop Up Show at the Chop Up Show. But this is a live, and you right there that's watching. Come on, pull up. Here, as a matter of fact, I'm getting off. Chop Up, the Chop Up Show, Facebook, YouTube. Figure it out. Come follow us right now. Let's go.
Come on.
The Snapchat. The Snapchat for today. The season is back to school season. If you are not back to school already, you're probably on the way, or you know somebody on the way. You got some people having a lot of first time back in 18 months, first time going to kindergarten, the preschool, what they're doing, the sixth grade, somebody going to high school, it's people going to college for the first time. And that might just be you. So I want to know from y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, what makes this time of the year special, especially since we're not really students no more? Talk to me in the comments if you are a student. How you feeling about this time of the year? And for us who are educators, who are not even students anymore, what makes this time of the year special for y'all?
But like for me, now that I got kids, you feel me? When my daughter about to be starting school, it's special because my daughter about to be going to school finally. You know what I'm saying? She actually say finally because it seemed like it's like, damn, she got to go to school. So it's kind of crazy a little bit. But I think that even before I had kids, just seeing on social media, seeing everybody having the excitement of getting organization and structure back.
Okay, organizational structure, getting some backbone to the system. Got a little baby going to the classroom, and we know them young kids need it. You know what I'm saying? That stimulation, that's been the big back and forth. As wild as people been like, should we send kids back? Should we do whatever? A lot of people say the cost of what these kids are missing, everything from education to those experiences, those interactions with people their age, their peers, is not worth it. So, Plug, what's up with you? How you feel?
Well, you know, my baby boy, he only 8 months. Huey T. He only, you know, he's still we got some ways. But you know, I love seeing the back to school fits. I love to see the kids excited. I remember those more. Well, we was before social media, you know what I'm saying? So like our parents didn't take pictures of us before class, you know what I mean? Before our first day of school. We didn't have the luxury, you know what I'm saying, of dealing with, you know, having that. But I think it's extreme. I think it's cute. Like seeing especially the first timers, the kindergartners.
Man, I might have had me a couple of first day MySpace pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Well, nah, I still didn't do the first day, but the one thing that's on my mind that you know just can't escape is just the one of the precautions, right? Because as excited as we are to send kids back to school, we are still dealing with the back end of a pandemic. And what I mean by the back end is the end of it, to where it'll be like people still dying, people still going to the hospital, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta still do whatever. You know what I mean? But outside of the COVID conversation, because that does, you know, like how they go up that. Right. But outside of that, it does bring me back to laying out the first day of school outfit, being excited about meeting your teacher when you go into a new grade, like that excitement of being a sixth grader, being a freshman in high school, being a freshman in college. It, you know, nothing beats that. You know what I'm saying? I think those were it was like that type of, as an adult, you don't get that excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like you used to, that anticipation of being like, man, who gonna be in my class? That's now it's like, first I got a new job. Yeah, nigga, Monday I'll be in there. I'll be there Monday. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love to see it, man. It takes me back.
Definitely. I know for me, it makes me feel old. You know, like you said, seeing everybody pictures is also seeing a whole bunch of pictures of little cheering that you remember being babies that ain't babies no more. So you just like, how, you know, I feel like
is he going to school?
Yeah, like this is wild. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And definitely with the fits, even some people in the comments like Red Little Pinky Promise Life said laying out clothes right before the first day, making sure that first day fit was crispy in the mug. We don't know what's going to happen after that first week or so. Ain't no telling what's finna happen to the drove. We don't know what's going on with you. But if anything, that first day or two, days 1 through 3, 1 through 4, you was stepping at least a little bit, trying to show people what was good. June also agreed. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like it's super important in terms of just being fresh. I know I'm excited. I'm always, as a teacher, I'm gonna take that perspective. Always excited to see my new students. Always, you know, I'm ready to go ahead and get it over with, rip the band-aid off. I need to learn these new names. I need to figure out what y'all talking about, what y'all doing. For me, interestingly enough, and I haven't really told a lot of people this, but I have been fortunate enough to get the opportunity to teach from home again this semester. And so even, you know, bridging the gap and doing that, I've kind of mastered that situation at this point. And I was really anxious about having to go back in person. So I'm actually pretty surprised and very excited that I don't have to do that part and that I can benefit from just kind of rolling with, you know, my folks through screen and just making it work like that. I don't necessarily prefer it, but I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna use this as a gateway and a bridge to the next part of the conversation. I feel like I'm just getting a head start. I feel lucky and fortunate, but in some ways, I kind of feel like I'm getting a head start to what the inevitable future is for a lot of students and kids, which is, and teachers, which is they finna have their asses at home. But it's a lot of back and forth about that. So what y'all think? People in the comments, talk to me. How y'all feeling about the likelihood? Because everybody buzzing and ready to get back to regular action, but we got to address the elephant in the room. What's y'all vibe on that?
I think it depends on what state you're in.
Right.
I think it depends on what state you in and how it's gonna go down. I know a lot of states that was hell bent on making sure Trump was reelected. They already then drew a line in the sand and already said they ain't with the political shenanigans and forget all that COVID propaganda, quote unquote, is what they said. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I think that people like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, you know what I'm saying, places like that. You feel me? The Carolinas, maybe even, you know what I'm saying. It's like shit, you know.
Yeah. Everybody doing their own thing.
You know, to the Omega variant, they still gonna be like, we don't give a damn. We're gonna my choice, my body, my mask.
And that's the funny thing about that, right? Because I think uniquely one let's say governor, for example, that's been very outspoken about kids going back to school and not mandating masks is the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis. Mm-hmm. Ron DeSantis has been very vocal about not enforcing mask mandates. As a part of not getting caught up in the, like George said, the politicized propaganda of of COVID. However, what Ron DeSantis would not share with the people is that his children go to private schools, and those private schools have a mask mandate. So while somebody like Ron DeSantis is telling other students that are other educational institutions that they don't have to mandate masks, Ron DeSantis's own kids are going to school where masks are mandated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that should tell you for real what's happening here.
I mean, but these are also the same leaders, by the way. I just want to throw in there that are vaccinated, that also tell people not to get vaccines and shit like that. So let's not forget about.
Hey, you want to also throw in that same state that Sanchez said was like, well, we're gonna let the parents control what they do with their kids. Right now, as we speak, there has been 2 black kids that have been medically, legally abducted. You feel me? Kidnapped from their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I can't think of the county name or whatever. You can go to, I think Jolly. I think I see it on Jolly Ginger's Instagram page and a few other people's Instagram page. You feel me? That's why I ain't posted about it because I ain't trying to post right now. But when I do get the posting, I'm definitely gonna be hearing about this story in Florida. That
we'll talk about your hiatus. We'll talk about your hiatus a little bit more.
But right now, though, just getting into the contradiction of this Santis dude. Him talking about masks and saying that parents have the ability to control what their kids do, but then also, you know what I'm saying, sanctioning these 2 black kids being abducted. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? like, because it felt like the parents is being, you know, neglectful towards the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's what Jessica. Yeah, that's what Jessica Eshin is talking about as well.
Saisha McCarty. Saisha reached out to me on Instagram. You feel me? Shout out to Saisha. Saisha reached out to me on Instagram and asked me, you feel me, to, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So with everything, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's coming definitely. But
so yeah, we're gonna have that conversation. I do want to point to Ethereal Beauty's comment. She said kids will be okay in her opinion, because that is the homie of the show. According to studies from the CDC and FDA themselves, children are least likely to get sick. Hopefully they keep their cleanliness up to par. Now, I don't think it's just a question of like kids, like whether or not it's getting sick, but more so the like the virus being spread. You know what I'm saying? Kids, that because their body may not be impacted by it as much, but yeah, go ahead. You said like
I mean, yes and no, right? Because I've also been hearing that is the kind of the vitality of this particular strain is that it bears no holds no punches, right? Holds no blows when it comes to age. And so a lot more kids are being hospitalized than ever before. A lot more kids are being ventilated than ever before. Now, we might look at these percentiles and say, oh, well, because I think it was only 0.9% of children or something like that I heard from this NPR report that have been hospitalized. But that is still a gross increase from what we saw through the alpha variant. So when we see an uptick, that ought to be reason for concern, on top of the fact that they are little small micro carriers now. At first it was like, oh, their respiratory systems ain't responsive to it and whatever. Now they taking it back to the crib. They taking it back to their family members. They taking it back to little 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds who can't get vaccinated. And that is the tricky part, is the carrying capacity of small little bodies now to go do some real damage to the people around them. And so it's tricky. It's tricky.
And I think at the same time, it's about just being, you know, it's about paying attention to the precautions. Because I feel like, you know, like I said, when you look at the way that these conversations are being politicized in terms of students, schools, in terms of health, safety, and all of these things, these leaders that are politicizing these conversations are actually taking the necessary precautions, right? Like, so the questions of masks, and they're vaccinated though, right? Like I said, Ron DeSantis is saying, well, the parents should control, but the school that your kids go to is a mask mandated school. We don't hear you criticize. You ain't pull your kids out of that school though.
Exactly.
Even though it's a mask mandate, because you didn't feel like as a parent your rights were taken away from you to protect your child simply because there's a mask mandate. So the way that the conversation takes place is extremely, extremely disrespectful and dismissive of the health concerns of parents, specifically in Florida, but in other places like Oklahoma, right? Like Texas, and I was just in Texas. Coming from California to Texas, there was every time I got out the car, I'm patting like, yo, where's my mask? You feel me? But having to realize like they're not tripping.
They don't.
You know what I mean?
They don't care. Around the pond wearing a mask in Texas.
And look, and what's crazier is that in Texas, not only are they dealing with shit like COVID, but they got a whole hand, foot, mouth disease outbreak going on in Texas. Like my son came back. I went to my brother's wedding over the weekend. My son came back with hand, foot, mouth disease because he was around his cousins in Texas. They was playing at playgrounds in Texas, right? So it's like, yeah. So when it comes to the conversations that take place when we take safety, general like public health and safety, and we politicize it, we end up putting. I ain't about to put myself with them. These politicians end up. These politicians end up putting their own constituents in danger.
Agreed.
Right? Like, and that's the problem. You feel me? So as much as I'm excited to see kids go back to school, it's more so of I'm literally sitting back. Okay, today is okay. Let's see how long it's gonna take before schools are shut down completely because they got out.
I mean, they're already starting. There are so many classrooms. I was talking to a friend of mine who works in the New York City public school system, and he has already articulated the fact that I think 900 students through 5 teachers plus 3 more that they came in contact with, like crazy numbers of people have already been dismissed from class for 14 days. How is that sustainable if every time somebody come back with a positive test or if some symptoms or something like that, you just send people home or y'all cancel class and everybody who they've been in contact with? Even my own university system is like, and this is where I'm not even comfortable with what they got going on where I work, because they like, oh, well, if a student tells you that they have COVID, send them to this link and tell them to send it. And this is going to send them to a department that's going to verify the COVID information. And then we'll send you information on what to do. Well, between then, it done incubated. It done crawled and crept and shook hands with everybody. It's in your nasal cavity. And we got to wait for you to verify it and make sure they ain't lying about it. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm so grateful, and I don't want to sit and harp on that, but man, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have time for none of that action. Do you hear me?
In my state, they made it illegal for you to mandate masks, for you to make people listen. It's illegal, and like literally, he made it illegal.
And it's mandatory in this. I mean, it's not mandatory in the county, but it's mandatory at my school. If you come in the building, we don't care about your status. We're not gonna ask. It's not our business. Put a mask on. Put it on. Yeah. But I'm also grateful because I am in the county of Orange. Let's be honest about it. Y'all heard about them a lot in the news over the past 18 months, haven't you?
So, because Orange, explain what makes that unique. What is different about Orange County and the rest of Southern California?
Orange County is the pepper and the salt shaker. Good way. It is the speck of conservatism. Or one of a few that's gonna ring loud and proud every single time. Huntington Beach is right down the road. A lot of those places where you saw people fussing and fighting. And I mean, I'm talking about punching through George Floyd, through mask, through vaccine, through pick a thing, and they down there squabbling over it. So that is where it is. And a lot of their young people, a lot of their children, a lot of those same people come and are students at the university that I'm employed by. And so it becomes interesting because I'm grateful I don't have to be one of those teachers, because they're just like, I have to read the FAQ. They said they're going to upgrade or update the FAQ on what to do if a student shows up to your class and refuses to put on a mask. And I think I talked about this in the last episode when I said that, unlike people in a store where, you come into a store with no mask on, they get to be like, hey, put on a mask. You be like, no, kiss my ass. And they be like, no, you got to put on a mask. And then you leave and then y'all never see each other again in life. If I say, hey, put on a mask and it's in my syllabus, and you say, no, that's against my rights, but I pay my money for this class, if you decide you're going to walk your ass in here with no mask on, what do we do for the next 16 weeks, the next 14 weeks, the next 8? Like, what do we do? Are we at do I like? And so I'm interested to read the FAQ. It's no longer pertaining to me and my personal job, but I'm interested to see.
Is this real? In Texas, you don't even have to notify parents of cases if your child has been exposed at school this year.
So real.
Carisha,
get it together, Texas. That's you, George. That's your people.
Man,
them is your people.
Embarrassing, man. How you do it in the classroom, make it where you ain't got to teach about certain things no more. Make it where you ain't. It really just said fuck them kids. Literally, it went from no child left behind to fuck them kids.
Every child,
even no child left behind was like fuck them kids.
So that's it.
Go ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, because it kind of really speaks to where we are, like as a society. I think the culture war has mutated like the Delta variant. You know what I'm saying? Because now that we at the place where Fox News is saying that the fact that you have people politicizing wearing a mask is ridiculous. Fox News is saying this. Fox News is saying this. Think about that, right? The most they don't rock with nothing that's liberally mainstream or mandated, right? So for them to be like, you got different programs that are, you see them fighting like on air about vaccinations, about masks, about all these different things. So when we have any, like when we're looking at how these conversations are taking place, what we are seeing is how this in the culture war itself is so. It's really white people that's doing it. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like it's white people finding ways to victimize themselves. I'm sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I brought it here.
You're not lying.
I really am sorry that I brought it here. But goddamn it, white people. And I see Carol in the chat, Miss Green. I apologize for cursing, but but they literally have found another way to, because they tried to go with the, well, if you call people racist, that's racist way of victimizing themselves, right? But that ain't work. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. So then they go to now forcing us to wear masks and advocating for vaccinations. That's the new culture war. When you yourself, random white conservative, you're already vaccinated. You wouldn't have graduated high school if you weren't vaccinated. Random white conservative child, you wouldn't have been in school if you already weren't vaccinated. I don't understand how people aren't pushing back against polio vaccines, measles vaccine. Well, I guess people are pushing back against the measles vaccines. Hepatitis. They're already like key mandated vaccines in order to participate in certain public activities like school.
Is it? I'm gonna make myself look dumb. I ain't gonna ask the question.
Bro, hey, ain't no dumb question. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I was about to say ain't no dumb questions on the chop up, but yes, it is.
To answer the question, one of the many questions, and y'all blowing up the chat, we definitely appreciate that. I am vaccinated. Proudly, everybody on this show,
I'm vaccinated.
Has been chipped up.
We are vaccinated.
We ready to.
We are vaccinated.
I
was to kick in. Start talking to Bill Gates and shit. I'm still waiting for Bill Gates powers though.
Yeah.
And look, I would say I took the mark of the beast, but that shit was on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't be saying, how y'all saying it's the mark? What did the Bible say? The Bible said the mark of the beast to be on your hand, on the front of your hand, on your forehead. I didn't take no shots in my forehead. I didn't take no shots in my hand. All of that shit was where I got my smallpox, measles, polio, all the other vaccines. You know what I'm saying? It was right here.
Say maybe I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I was born in the 90s. I was born, you know what I'm saying, late 80s. They were called immunization cards growing up. Immunization cards. Yeah. Like, you feel me? Immunization cards.
Yeah.
But you had it though. Stop playing them games. Like you
absolutely
you had it.
Shout out to Carol Green with a spicy comment. They started the mask wearing. Remember the KKK? Oh, my goodness gracious. So we getting real out here. Oh my goodness gracious. 10 out of 10. Shout out to my mama. I agree. Real quick though, and here's where it's gonna get sobering real quick because this is supposed to be a snap chop, and we about to transition out. Here's what I want to think about. Students being back in classrooms, as good as it is, as positive as it is, and I'm telling y'all, this is about to get real sobering. And I hate to say it, but this is something I was thinking about driving in the car, has a lot of benefits. You know what I'm saying? We understand that they need to be back in those environments, but it's a second pandemic we don't talk about that happen in schools, or that happens in schools more often than we like to admit to. And that is literally, I think, likely. And I hate to see it happen, but I'm going to call it now. We send these kids back to school. You know how these guns is moving around. So things to think about. You know what I'm saying? Things that, amongst many things, students have to navigate. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic, a lot of anxieties, a lot of issues. But I also am concerned because we saw those numbers go down, decrease drastically, because we didn't have things like schools in session. But we don't have those conversations. We don't think about what's in the best interest of students. We politicize everything, right? And we don't have the conversations we need to. And so that's kind of what I wanted to get to, and ultimately talking about getting back to school. Plug. You about to say something?
My everything started to mess up when I seen Ms. Carol's comment. That was a bar.
A little
That
bit.
was a bar. So I definitely want to give her props. But at the same time,
shooting
you know,
shots.
at the same time, as much as when it comes to the vaccination conversation, I think whenever we start to whenever we put a focus on being what's the counter hegemonic, you think that's a good phrase to use to describe the approach? Whenever we focus on more so pushing back against the system as opposed to the purpose and the benefits and the legitimate conversation of vaccines, then that's where we lose focus of why we're talking about vaccines in the first place. Right, like we have to understand that there have been illnesses and ailments that have been wiped out due to medical research and advancements. Even though we have more than enough of a reason to distrust pharmaceutical industries, healthcare industries, and the government, there's also ample evidence that points to how breakthroughs and advancements in science and technology have eradicated a lot of the diseases and viruses that plagued the generations before us. We cannot allow for the fact that we have been privileged to be able to receive that technology and that medicine in a way to where we don't have to deal with the things that they dealt with in the past to then be like, we don't need these things. This is why when in times of peace, in times of tranquility, people get stagnant because they think these is how things are supposed to be. But we forget that there were crises that were created and then that were then solved through science and technology. And white people don't have a monopoly over science and technology.
Come on and say that. It's a word.
Let's be real.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
And in closing,
wait.
Go ahead. Eating, sleeping, and shitting, it's not much you want to agree with white supremacists with. Yeah. Once y'all start speaking in and getting into a lot of hysteria and propaganda around coronavirus, you start to slide into some white supremacist ideas about science and about the virus and chips and all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I want to answer June's question because it's fair, and then honestly, we're gonna transition out. June asked, "What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about being fully vaccinated and still catching COVID and dying?" I feel the same way about that I feel about wearing seatbelts, wearing condoms, and any other preventative measures that people take that don't always work out the way.
Ignore me, I'm childish.
Okay, that don't always work out the way that you plan. You do them anyway because you want to reach for the best possible outcome. We knew that these vaccines were 94%, 97%, 98% successful. That leaves what? 6%, 4%, and 2%. I said when I got the vaccine, the reason that the decision I'm making it was one that was selfless. I'm doing it for y'all. I'm willing to charge it to the game to say that I tried to like not die from COVID and I spread it to other people. The same way I put on the seatbelt, the same way people wear contraceptives. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, we shooting the best possible shot. We're gonna shoot it, but the best possible one.
Hey, in context,
how I feel about that.
If you still catch the coronavirus and you're vaccinated, the likeliness of you dying from the coronavirus and being vaccinated is drastically decreased.
Drastically.
And I know this from people.
Not even just dying though.
In the medical field.
Not even just dying
right now. They ain't vaccinated.
Yeah.
The impact that it leaves, even if you survive, it has less of an impact on your lungs and on your body as if in terms of if you were just like if you get in an accident and you might break an arm or break a leg, but you didn't fly through the windshield.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, the logic shades out for me. So Timothy Dudley, yes, I was scared. Dudley, I need more information. You are entitled to more information. I took the 20 plus years of research on the coronavirus, originating virus, the mutations that it's gone through, and the thousands of researchers and scientists on the job over the last year or some change. And I roll with that. So different strokes for different folks, no matter what. No matter what you decide to do. If you put your mask on, we square. You know what I'm saying? And I respect 1000% of the decision to not have proceeded down that path. You know what I'm saying?
Just wear a mask. If you ain't gonna get vaccinated, just throw that thing on.
If it's worth it to you, if somebody worth it to you, and you really want, and I don't want to assume nothing about who you engage with, but if it's worth it to you, you're gonna put that condom on. You're gonna go get that. You know what I'm saying? That's for me. It was worth it to me to go get back out there in the world. So I put me some protection on. That's just me. And shout out to my mama. And I got a tattoo on my leg. If y'all got any questions, little curl is on the left leg.
Little curl. We
But we out of here. I'm done talking about this. Shout out to everybody involved in this conversation.
Hey, we still in our unvaccinated folk, we still love y'all.
That's period. It's love. It's no smoke. Like I said, a lot of my decisions was in the direction of herd, you know what I'm saying, immunity, so that if you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to. We had reached a place where people could respect their decisions, but I made mine. So it's no smoke. I love everybody. We offer this. Let's transition to one of the other topics.
Hey, y'all know what it is, man. What's this next one? Oh, this is the international chop.
Yeah, man.
Let's get it, G.
Hey, so this gonna be the international chop. A wise man once said that we should think globally and act locally. So my glasses broke. You feel me? So I got I can't find my other one. So I only got so I ain't got a squint. So I got.
What's that?
But listen, this comes from USA Today. We know that a lot of people have been seeing on their timelines. A lot of people have been asking me about what I think about what's going on in Afghanistan. We're about to jump into this right now, but just for some overview, just for some, some backdrop. We know that our country, America, a lot of our taxpaying dollars, a lot of our military budget has been going to Afghanistan for over 10 years. You feel me? Well over 10 years. This is I'm about to read from USA Today. Here in it's headline with a quote from Joseph Biden. You feel me? He says, "I stand squarely behind my decision. Biden defends handling Afghanistan as Taliban force seizes Kabul." President Joe Biden said Monday that he made the right call to pull American troops out of Afghanistan, even though he said the Taliban's swift seizure of Kabul unfolded faster than expected. "I stand firmly behind my decisions," Biden said during the speech at the White House. Biden said that Afghan officials, including former president, had assured him Afghan forces would still fight the insurgents. "The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we anticipated," Biden said. Last sentence I'll read, without specifying any particular mistakes that were made, Biden said the withdrawal process has been hard and messy, and yes, far from perfect. My question to jump off this conversation is, what, if any, do you think the American government has at fault or culpable for what's going down in Afghanistan right now with Taliban seizing?
Come on, speak your knowledge, political plug.
Bro, where the Taliban came from? Who trained the Taliban?
America.
America. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like it's like let's be for real here. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, I mean, the Taliban is a monster of the first Bush administration. You know what I'm saying? And it's just chickens that have been coming home to roost for over 20 years now. Mm-hmm. That's all that is, bro. I mean, like, we shouldn't, us being there in the first place was only for our interests, right? The Taliban becoming what they were, the Taliban being against the current Afghan administration, right? Like, because what we got to understand is that with us being there, there was already conflict because the other parties there didn't want us there, right? So as we're talking about, we're building democracy in Afghanistan, we're building this in Afghanistan. Now it's even more clear that that didn't have nothing to do with why we was over there in the first place, right? I mean, it's U.S. imperialism, colonialism. We taking the resources. We still in it. I sound like we back in 2005 talking about like post 9/11. You know what I'm saying? Like with the United States being in the Middle East in the first place. But I mean, let's be for real here. The beef between the Taliban and the current Afghanistan Afghani government has to do with the presence of United States military. Mm-hmm. Like, let's be serious. Now, I mean, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and I'm an American citizen, so I definitely have to understand that my perception of the Taliban, my understanding of the Taliban, my research of the Taliban has been tainted, right, with the perception of an American, right? You know what I'm saying? So, without me being intricately involved and intricately studying, going more into the detail of the culture in Afghanistan and the beasts that have been created from it. Like, without me having that, all I know is that y'all shouldn't have been over there in the first place. You feel me? The
What you got against
justification.
sheep oil, man? What you got against sheep oil?
Oh, how you get it? How you get it? Period.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's that simple.
What you're saying is in line. Leodon 3 been blowing up these comments, really talking to us a lot. And one of the things they just said is, in terms of the war, one, we really shouldn't have gone over there in the first place. We didn't have enough information nor the right information to head over there. Two, we shouldn't have been over there so damn long without planning anything. We created more issues because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just reacting. And then there was a third one. Three, since we're here, make a plan, an exit plan when once we realized that this wasn't working out for us. It's not hard, but the government looked for the easy way out, the quick way out. And Jessica says exactly what it is. And I saw a tweet today that was kind of reflective of this concept, was that the fact that things are collapsing so quickly is demonstrative of the fact that the United States did participate in colonial behaviors. They went over there with intentions and desires that were solely de facto colonization, right? They had many different faces. Some of it was more overt, a lot of it was more covert. But when when Joe Biden gets up and says, we went over there and trained over 300,000 troops and equipped
the problem.
Military leaders and gave them an air force and did this, and that. Bro, you trying to make another United States, a tele-US one in a different place. Your projections of democracy are not in line in a lot of ways with their system of Islam, with their interpretation of what it means to have collectivized and organized government. A lot of those things were completely counterintuitive to their ways of life, but you impress it on them in exchange for safety and security. And that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some cult shit. Like, if you look at how cults are made, they do like love bombing, and no pun intended. And they do like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they tell you how dependent you need to be on. Like, that's how cults are formed. And so what they did was they got into the minds of Islamic leaders in Afghanistan and played the game. You know what I'm saying? Got them to follow along. And then all of a sudden you had a whole country playing along through a colonial agenda that did what? Allowed the United States to land hella private contracts, to make hella white corporations money.
Shout out to Halliburton.
You know what I'm saying? To get all the oil, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild. Y'all think we got some high gas prices now? Like, wait till the whole Middle East is in shambles, because even the countries outside of here's the thing, even the countries outside of Afghanistan now have huge distrust with the United States. Why? Because they have seen how the United States will leave them high and dry, leave their countries, leave their situations when it's convenient for the U.S., and completely leave them with no infrastructure, no protection, without their backs being had, right? And so that's a sticky position to be in. So now we lose and have fragile relationships with a lot of the people who supply a lot of the oil out, from the Middle East to this country. So it's interesting to watch geopolitics at play and to see such failure and sadness that's really on a lot of people's hands. This is bipartisan failure, by the way.
Bipartisan failure. If y'all that don't know, when you say bipartisan failure, that means both the left and the right are complicit in this failure that's going down in Afghanistan right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I guess the bigger question is, I think that we should have pulled out now? Should we stayed in? Should we been pulled out? Like,
I mean, I do agree that one of the things Joe Biden said was that it was never going to be a right time. But I think that goes back to what Aaliyah Don said, is that exactly, we needed to leave, but we didn't do this right at all. We as a country will have some long stretching consequences dealing with other countries after this. It was not what you did, it was how you did it, right? Anybody with a mama who got a one-liner in their spirit to tell you, it was not what you did, it was how it was done, right? And so I think that's a huge component of it, but it was no right time to leave, right? Joe Biden said in his speech today, we could have left a year from now, we could leave 5 years from now, we could leave 20 years from now, put another 20 on the clock. We've been there for 20, but America's longest war had to end at some point. And I did agree with him when he said this is really what he walked away with. We want people to understand, we cannot sit and support and fight a war that the people themselves in that country that we support are not willing to fight. The leaders of Afghanistan are not in Afghanistan, y'all. Them niggas got a private helicopter dipped from wherever, I don't know what they named.
From Kabul. They left Kabul.
Yeah, got from the palace, or got from their version of the White House to the air base and flew away. And because the former president of Afghanistan used to be like involved with the UN and involved with like the World Bank or some shit like that, got homies, got clicked up. So he ducked off somewhere cooling, watching his country go into shambles. Didn't we just get on Ted Cruz's ass about doing that to Texas? Didn't we just bust his ass about doing that to the state of Texas when they went up and flooded and froze and did all this and did all that? We wasn't happy about that. And so Biden got a point in saying we can't stick around helping niggas that won't help themselves. After 20 years, you got to have some type of plan in place yourself to be self-sustainable. And a lot of places,
but that's the thing though. That's the thing.
What's that?
We weren't there helping them. Like, let's be for real. If anything that we had done had been productive there, this would not be happening.
Hey Dominique, I know some U.S. veterans that were over in Afghanistan. They would disagree, man. They thought they were
and I know some U.S. veterans that'll be like, they wasted our time. I know people that died and they shouldn't have. I know some U.S. veterans that would say the exact same thing, because think about it. The whole purpose of us being there was to quell the violence, right? The violent groups, the violent organizations that have been utilized in these areas to formulate and plan and carry out attacks against U.S. assets, right? So if the purpose of them being there in the first place was to actually stop them from doing what they're doing now, that means that while there's a withdrawal, we ain't even fully withdrawed yet. And they've already began to do we just was waiting. That means that even with Joe Biden's words, appreciate it. Great moderate language, great liberal moderate talking points. You know what I'm saying? Love it, right? We're leaving. But that just means
we got some permanent bases out there. I remember I've seen multiple documentaries that tell me they got a base the size of Vatican City in you know what I'm saying in Afghanistan. It's like,
I believe it.
But that proves the point though, that it was never really about stopping them from getting there.
Yeah.
From taking control. That is mission.
Nobody watching Chop Up are gonna disagree with that. I'll just say this and I'll let you get it to you. This is the greatest example of mission failed. We've been saying that that it was a failed mission this whole time. Like, y'all ain't do what y'all. Now this proves we're withdrawing while the Taliban is taking control of Afghanistan. Mission failed, sir. Yeah. Go ahead, Toy.
I can't stress enough what you just said, and what it reminded me of is I want y'all to remember that Donald Trump, when first of all got bipartisan support, and I don't know the logic behind this, is where it confuses me, because what is one of the main mantras of the United States? We do not negotiate with terrorists, right? Like we all know that's the one-liner for the U.S., right? So exactly, because allegedly the conversations that led to the United States being pulled out were had between the Trump administration and the Taliban, and did not directly or even dare I say meaningfully include the Afghani government. And so I'm very skeptical about the logic of pulling the United. I mean, it had to happen at some time. I can agree with that. It's been a long war, but about the logic behind doing it, when and how it was done, because what happened to not negotiating with terrorists? And so a lot of, I think, the Afghanistan government's instability is because they don't really have the intricacies of the knowledge, based on what I've understood about this issue, to understand the failures of this, the failures in communication. Now, Noel says mission failure at the cost of $1 trillion and, more importantly, countless lives. And we can't forget that, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, and this is the ticker on lives lost starts at 9/11, right? And so these are things we need to think about. I'm gonna go to the comments though, because y'all are lighting it up, and we got our boy
comments is going on fire right now for you.
Keith's in the comments though. Keith said, or Jean Devon Rousseau said, we should have stayed. People in Kabul are dropping off planes 600 feet in the air. Yes, they're latching on literally to the sides of aircrafts as they take off, falling off of those aircrafts, because that's not safe and nobody would live through that as you climb in thousands of feet in the air, and they dying. The failure of the Afghan military is also to blame on us. The U.S. transition history in establishing democracy has been atrocious. This was inevitable upon withdrawal. Agree 1,000%. Now, any Afghan people that supported the previous regime will likely be killed in the coming weeks. This will breed a new generation of hatred toward the United States. There's an Afghan mayor, a woman, who's just like, I'm just waiting for them to come kill me. I'm concerned about my life. I am not confident in the fact that I'll make it through this. There are women soldiers who represent the United States who are concerned that they're going to be killed because of the control that the Taliban is in. Keep in mind, the airstrip, the air base that y'all saw those planes taking off of, CNN cut footage, surrounded by the Taliban. And it's just American soldiers there. They're also sending more American soldiers, I think like 6,000, I heard, back over there to just get some reasonable control. Y'all heard the comments from Joe Biden. He was like, Taliban, if y'all make us getting out hard, we're going to meet you with some regrettable force or whatever he said. He said some real strong language. But that's because we sending more people back over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild out
here. Double speak. That's that George Orwellian double speak right there, where it's like we pulling out to put some people there, and still got this thing going on, and we put it now, but we still gonna do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? And I was having a conversation, you know what I mean, with I guess a family friend earlier about this very thing, and he thought that us pulling out, I mean, he thought that us going there was a good idea for America, and I had to explain to him, like, when you say good for us, do you mean like American citizens or you mean like American corporations? Yeah. He was like, what's the difference? I had to explain, like, hey, American corporation interest does not never trickle down to poor people. You feel me? As a matter of fact, you and I got family members that signed over their life or signed over a couple of years and went over there and fought, and they got back, and that's the thing they regret. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I had to put that in context in terms of, hey, what perspective are you saying it was good for us to go? When you say us, who is the us?
Yeah, it's rough. I do want to acknowledge all perspectives, as long as they're not disrespectful, even if they're not necessarily in line with mine. I will acknowledge that they exist. Nkosi says that they're not touching those planes. I'm an ex-Air Force Security Forces. That's some QAnon BS. I would like for you to elaborate with some evidence and some warrants for why those things would not be true. But a divergent opinion, which, I don't have to agree with you, but I die for your right to say what you got to say.
Y'all got the Marquise's comment?
Definitely. We did.
Okay. That's how I figured out.
Yeah, Jessica says we don't negotiate with terrorists except the KKK, the Proud Boys, Clive and Bundy, Kyle Rittenhouse. Come on, bars.
Some bars.
I had to go to that one. Like,
goodness.
That's a bar.
Orwellian is accurate. Margot says who will we be protecting that we are not a week ago? Right. So those are questions we have to ask ourselves. Aaliyah Don 3 says, I find it ironic that we pulled out and now have to send more troops there to help get our people out. So again, it is how it is how he did this that made matters worse, because it was a failure to pull out. Sorry, my computer is tilted at a stupid angle. And so we all agree that this is an issue of our own making, and the most interesting parts are yet to come. Please.
Can I ask y'all this? Can I ask y'all this before we go? And I apologize because my shit died and everything real quick. Do y'all think that in terms of pulling out, do y'all think that we should have stayed given the circumstances?
No.
Do you think that in terms of what that would mean for the people in Afghanistan now? Does it make any sense to stay?
Yes. Does it make any sense to say yes? If you want to be, and this is where it gets conflicting, right? And shout out to Kevin's comments. I don't want to miss it for a float up. If we pulling troops out of Afghanistan, can we send something to Haiti to help? That's a great question.
And this international chop was gonna be about those two things, but we decided, you feel me, in prep that it was too much to talk about in one topic, which we're seeing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. But,
but I want to answer the plugs question. Should we have every pulled out, whatever? It's rough, right? Because as people who identify themselves as, or a nation who identifies itself as humanitarian, our pullout game, U.S. pullout game is weak. Love it. But we want to be helpful. We want to be at the front page of, hard and soft power, able to be diplomatic, able to be helpful, able to be humanitarian. That's some shit we hang our hats on, right? And so that's one huge component of it, but you can't do that forever. We all know that that's not sustainable. So we have to ask ourselves, we know it's kind of like, do we want the United States to be paying over? It's the question of welfare. You know what I'm saying? It's the question of, do we want them handing out money and handing out checks? Because we see what that's doing kind of to the economy. Right. On one hand, fuck capitalism, but on the other hand, like, niggas do gotta work because shit is really expensive because niggas not working, and it's how things are out of balance. And so it's kind of like a tricycle. It's kind of like a kid on a bike. I could teach you how to ride it, but at some point I do gotta let you go to see if you can stay by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of did need to leave, because at some point we got to see if you know how to ride the bike. Now we know within weeks, no, nigga, no, your knees are gone, scraped up, bloody. I think I might see a bone. Like that's how bad Afghanistan is looking right now. They did not stay on that.
Bust your knees to the white meat.
No, honestly, that's kind of what it looked like. They fell off so fast and so hard, but it was only one way to see it and one way to figure it out.
So we'll let George close out this chop. We're answering this last question here. What do you think is the best response to this tragedy for us as Black people? What is the political and community response needed? Now, are you talking about Haiti or are you talking about Afghanistan? I've seen aid campaigns, but is there something else? I'm assuming we're talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah, I feel like it go to both of them though, because both of them need aid. You feel what I'm saying? So I imagine it go to both of them. You know, I think that when it comes to what's going down in Afghanistan specifically, I feel like there's a lot for us as Black people to learn about how dependency and independence work in terms of when we get aid or when you get external help from something, that there is a such thing as becoming too dependent on that external thing, because then when it leaves in its absence, there becomes a whole bunch of eroding internally and externally other infrastructure you're trying to keep up. You feel what I'm saying? I think in terms of aid, I feel like research over me search, there are a lot of what I'm gonna call goddamn crisis industrial complex, where there are a lot of different institutions that's able to make a whole bunch of money, you feel me, off of different international global crises, and a lot of the money, billions and billions of dollars that get raised and never go to those people. We've seen a lot of instances that happen with people in Haiti. You feel what I'm saying? So I definitely would encourage you. Anybody say they want a dime from you to send to Haiti or to Afghanistan, you need to figure out and ask questions where that money going to, how it's getting to them, and all those type of questions. The last thing I'll say in terms of community building and in terms of need, I think that going back to the words of Huey P. Newton, we have to think globally and act locally, and thinking about how a lot of shit that's going over across seas can be connected to the dots to what's going down, you know what I'm saying, down the street from my block. You feel me? When we talk about the lack of aid in America, especially when it comes to the hood and to what Black folks getting, and we think about the trillions of dollars probably that went to Afghanistan from 2001 to now, we can think about how, you feel me, need and community builds, especially when it comes to thinking about how Black people are accounted for in this community known as America, man. That was the international chop. Thank y'all for tuning in. You feel me? Education is elevation. Y'all know what time it is. If you want to learn more about what's going on with Afghanistan, learn more about Taliban, learn more about America's involvement with Taliban, definitely research over me search.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna lighten this up before we close it out. We ain't got too much. We ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. We appreciate the time that y'all have spent with us.
Always.
But you know, today is kind of like, you know what I mean, like a low key, you know, we low key celebrating in a way, right? It is, you know what I mean? Like it's a low key celebration. You feel me? We're gonna call this one the social chop. Because we dealing with social media today. Yeah, go ahead, hit them notes, girl.
I was. Go ahead, keep going. I was singing too. I was serenading the captain. Go ahead, talk to the
yes. So what we talking about today is in this world of social media, right? I'm gonna gas it. Social media has a hierarchy, right? You got people that get a lot of views. You got people that get a lot of shares. You got people that got a lot of followers. However, there's one status that stands above all else that show that you are somebody, and that is the infamous, the illustrious blue check. Now the blue check don't matter where you go. If you got one wherever, one here, one there, if you got it, you are somebody.
Absolutely.
We have been blessed with the opportunity to have a blue check.
Check for it came.
You know what I'm saying? A blue check on this panel right here, this conversation, this show.
Yeah,
we got a blue check with us, y'all.
And we didn't
have conscious. Go ahead, Toya.
And we didn't have to go. Could be here. We didn't even have to call him. We didn't have to pay him nothing. We didn't have to. I got excited.
He's here. He's here. Right? The Conscious Lead is officially verified on TikTok. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. It was hard work. The boy was getting it in. He did his thing, hustling 1.5 million followers on TikTok. And we finally made it.
Finally.
Now, This story has another layer to it, though.
It does.
Because Conscious Lee is is a vocal critic, right? A vocal critic of TikTok and how they handle their business. Conscious Lee feels that there are a lot of issues and there are a lot of barriers that are created for content creators such as himself that get in the way of the benefits that some like a platform like TikTok can provide. Now, we about to deal with that. First, we want to talk about getting to the blue check. Conscious Lee, what did you do to get that blue check, bro?
Man, I feel like I've been grinding on TikTok since 2019. It was a point in time I was doing like 20 videos a day for about like 9 months. You feel me? I was doing a lot of videos, race, class, gender, ability, sexuality. I even danced sometimes and bust a couple jokes. I think what happened was when celebrities started sharing my content from TikTok to Twitter and Instagram, it made it where a lot of different people started to reach out to me. Shout out to Ashley Preston. You feel me? She did this article in the Forbes. You know what I'm saying? Forbes has this Forbes the culture. They have this like part of Forbes they doing for like, as it sounds, Forbes the culture. You feel me? And she had interviewed me, and the interview that we did was good enough where she quoted a lot of me in this article from Forbes. And for y'all that don't know how verifications work on social media is the more publications that you have, the likeliness of you being verified as a public figure or whatnot. You feel me? I have a lot of articles that was about me, but Forbes tipped it over for me finally, and they got it to me, man. I actually, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I'm not able to say too much in terms of what happened before that, you know what I mean? But just know I have attempted a lot, you feel me, to get this verified check, and it finally came through, man. And it's been bittersweet. Apparently, you can get the verified check, have 1.5 million followers, and still get suppressed in this motherfucker. But,
still be suppressed. That's crazy. Now,
that's what I was showing y'all. That's what I was showing y'all. I was showing y'all how you can see yourself the 1.5 million, the 1.5 million followers. But you see the last post right there. What that number say right there, Dama? What that number say?
I don't know which one.
The last number. What did I say to you? The last number. That number.
3,000. Which number?
Yeah, that 3,000 number.
That's 3,725. I can't see the other number because it's white.
Yeah, but not even 4,000 views. I have 1.5 million followers. That video was posted over 3 hours ago. It has 3,000 views, less than 4,000 views on it. You feel me? So when we talk about being shadow banned and suppressed, like that's what I'm talking about, man. And shout out to Noel, definitely.
Always.
Shout out to Noel, man. Shout out to Margot too, that sent the sticker earlier as well.
Definitely showing love always, constantly on the show. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, but that's part of what keeps you relevant. Lee was talking about all the stuff he had to do just to garner people's attention, everything from shake the mode, tight, stiff hips of his to, get on here and really talk straight to people and really, ironically talk straight to people because it's about a whole lot of queer shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was in the building, you know what I'm saying? And so much dedication and commitment going into the craft, but definitely pushing, the ball upstream, pushing the rock uphill, if you will. You know what I'm saying? The boulder uphill, trying to make things connect and try to make things shake with a population of people that don't really want to hear what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like even just hearing about how languages having to be redeployed. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about sex on TikTok, it can be the most innocent thing, the most accurate biological sexuality. You say stuff like segs, SASE, or crazy stuff. I'm trying to slide on TikTok a little more, and a lot of what I'm saying, fortunately, I don't have to deal with those things. I just be trying to gas people up, hype people up, make people feel good. Follow me, Toya GHD on TikTok. But in learning the lay of the land over there, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real, just real tight, real whack.
Now, and because not to stretch it out too long, because we gonna take in. We always gonna take in the gravitas, you know what I'm saying, of a blue checked individual. But given the beef though, right? Because we definitely got to speak to the irony of TikTok giving you the blue check. based on the article, or you talking shit about TikTok? You know what I'm saying? So like talk like so real quick, speak to the balance, right? Because it's like you've been busting your ass to get verified, but at the same time, you got this beef with as a platform with how it rocks. So speak to kind of like that bittersweet vibe that you feel when you know what I'm saying, when you seen that blue check, but then you look at the fact that your content is still suppressed.
To be honest with you, I was having this conversation with somebody, and what I told them is I've already accepted that I'm not gonna get all the flowers and get all the fruits because of the labor I'm putting in when it comes to this social media. Because I've been able to be blessed and have a lot of conversations with different people and been able to travel specifically from social media, I'm already seeing a huge disparity between Black content creators and white content creators. You feel me? And it's egregious, right? So how I see it is, though I've been able to get verified on TikTok and I probably be getting verified on Instagram here soon, I'm happy my work is being acknowledged.
Yeah.
But we still got so far to go to make it where the little Black people that come behind me, you feel me, come behind us, to make it where they ain't got to deal with the trials, tribulations that I'm going through right now, and to make it where they can get more equity and get more bang for their buck in terms of the labor they put in. Because what I recognize now, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, regardless, or even YouTube, when companies reach out to Black content creators, they already thinking hella frugal and how they gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying, get over on it, right? When TikTok suppresses content, that impacts the way in which I'm able to feed my kids and pay my bills. You feel me? When a promotion company or a random company reach out, they want to pay me based off the exposure. So if they see one video, literally you see one video, I had 250,000 views. The next video, I had 3,000 views. You know what I'm saying? That impacts big time the value of my virtual print. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about how it's a lot of Black people that don't have the big media following I have, but they more talented than I am. You see what I'm saying? So they already get robbed. You feel me? So that's really how I see it, though. Like the balance is being able to recognize. I'm happy that my work getting acknowledged. I'm happy people telling me congratulations, but I'm also recognizing that shit, the blue check is just the half of the, you know, it's just the half of the battle. I seen somebody put a comment on there and say now all blue checks are created equal, but it's sad, but it's true. Feel what I'm saying? So I'm still pushing though. I'm still pushing. I was raised by some hustlers. I was raised in a hustling, you know what I'm saying, environment. So I'm still gonna hustle my ass off. But I recognize though that it's still a long way. You feel me?
And we're not gonna stretch this out too long. But I do. I do want to speak to though, like, because what George is talking to is even from the financial standpoint, like people who are trying to build their personal brands uniquely on places like TikTok and Instagram and all these types of things. There's a dark side to it, because as much as we celebrate when we see people like consciously able to break through, you know what I'm saying, and grow and build that platform even against the odds, right? You have content creators like myself. I mean, I'm a smaller content creator. I got like about 30-something thousand on TikTok. But a part of the reason why I've taken a hiatus on TikTok is because of the ways that they actually they police Black content. And as much as we want to just be like
TikTok, bro,
and as much as we want to be like, you know, forget the system and everything else, there is a mental impact, a mental toll, you know, an emotional toll. You feel me? Because the content like that we put out is us. This is who we are. This is what we are. Like, this is what we are giving to the world. You feel me? And as much as we don't want to tie who we are to likes, views, shares, and comments, that's the validation that goes into saying that what you're doing the right thing.
The capital of social media. Yeah, that's
right.
The
you know what I'm saying?
Capital of social media.
Right. You're doing the right thing. You feel me? And so, like me personally, once I felt like, because once I started, you know, kind of getting that shadow ban vibe, I had to take a step back because I felt myself being like, damn, am I not good enough? Right? Is it my content? Should I be? Here we got the headphones, y'all. Should I be? You know, if do I not know what I'm talking about? Right? Am I not? Am I not? You know what I mean? Is my content not good enough? Because especially when people try to tear you down when you talk about being shadow banned, the first thing they say is, "Well, just make better content. Just make better content." Not recognizing that you're seeing
that shit, you be like, man, get the fuck on with that.
Yeah, but not even recognizing that you seeing like, yo, it's a drop off on my shit. Like I was doing.
The logic is for you to tell me my content is bad, it has to get viewed. So if my content is not being viewed, who's determining the content good or bad? Is the algorithm doing it? Because my viewers ain't seeing this shit. If I got 1.5, I almost think about it. If I have 30,000 followers and I have a video that has 1,000 views and I posted it a day ago.
And it also, I mean, you can compare. Yeah, it's too obvious. It's too obvious.
Right? Like, come on, man.
It's like
that's why I do a shameless plug at. It's why I do a shameless plug at. The uniqueness in the app fan base is that it is not ad based. You feel me? The reason why Instagram and TikTok and all that, they ad based, and them being ad based, it makes it where it purposely, strategically suppresses a part of the content to make it where it wants to incentivize you pay for ads and or other people buy ads to make it where you get to push to more of your followers. The uniqueness in fan base is if you have 1 million followers on fan base, all 1 million of your followers gonna see your content. It's not they're not gonna play with you like that. You feel what I'm saying? Also, fan base gives you the ability off the bat to already start making money. You don't have to have a certain amount of followers. The reason why I'm bringing up money in terms of social media, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I've said this a lot, but social media is the most lucrative industry in human history. More than automobiles, more than textile, more than oil, more than real estate. And social media only been around since 2008, 2009. You feel what I'm saying? But in that time, it's literally into by like trillions of dollars. I'm talking about globally, social media is the biggest industry in the world in terms of profit. So when we think about who is creating the trends on these apps, who is creating the lingo on these apps, who is creating the, you know what I'm saying, the swag, all on that, it's like black people are. Our culture is being used to fuel the most lucrative industry in human history. However, on the back end, we getting pimped out. We ain't getting shit. That's the reason why I'm using this terminology and talking about being paid, because it's literally like TikTok. The white, I'm saying the white girl, Charlie D'Amelio. I seen some. As a matter of fact, I'm about to. It's an article coming out. I'm about to get. I did an interview with Insider. They told me that Charlie D'Amelio's net worth is $8 million. 4 billion. I mean, and a half of it come from TikTok. Her claim to fame is doing the renegade dance. That, you know what I'm saying, the black girl from an anime. Now they flipped it and compared it. The girl that made the dance, that blew her up, her 70,000.
Ain't even at a million, nothing.
Not even half a million, 70K. So to put it in perspective, what does it mean for the creator of a trend that was able to literally not only start this person's career, the renegade dance is really what started off, you feel me, the TikTok. And the second dance that took it to another level was Meg Thee Stallion Savage, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, hey, last thing I say on this rant, there is not one black woman in the top 100 TikTokers. There's a list of a top 100 TikTokers.
Crazy.
There's not one black woman in this list. Majority of the trends on TikTok come from black women.
Easily. And keep in mind, even that young lady, people had to protest and be angry, and the white girl went all on Ellen, and people was like, "Why you got the wrong girl?"
That's a separate white girl right there. White girl. The other, the white girl that went on the Jimmy Fallon show, her name Addison Rae.
Okay.
You feel me? And what it comes down to is that the two people we talking about, and two, you know what? I ain't even gonna hold it against these two as individuals. I recognize our world is structured by white supremacy. So black people, we literally position as fungible objects. Wilson really was right. Like anything niggas create, the world believe it's up to the whims of the world to be able to do what they want to do with it. And they ain't gotta pay us a goddamn thing for it. So it's literally Addison Rae and Charlie D'Amelio. They are the two of the top 3 TikTokers, literally, like throughout the whole entirety of the app. They don't make no original content. They copy the dances that black people made.
Which, I mean, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna go back, and I ain't gonna say this the end of it. I don't know where the plug is at, but I know he's been rocking with Huey, so you know we've been talking for a minute. And I want to say this before we get done. I've said this on a previous segment. I think we was talking about TikTok and ratio and algorithms and stuff before, and I asked the question: if niggas built another app, if another black person or people of color, would you go over there? And we wasn't sure. We could not say with confidence that black people will go support their own or apps that represent their best interest, that let them be them best selves. So we got fan base, y'all. Right? There are options. There are options out there. You can't be upset about something, and then when somebody makes something, you don't go to it. Like that was the worst part of living in Kansas City. I mean, I feel like it's probably any city, but man, it's boring. Ain't nothing to do. Nah, it's something to do. They throwing little stuff and have a little stuff. You have opted out of participation. Right? So you got to make sure that you ain't on these apps for likes, for clout, for the bump, and that when something pops up for supporting, that you're willing to cut ties and go ahead and transition over to the other side, or at least add that one too. I got a fan base.
All I do is add fan base, and then fan base just rolled out this feature a couple of days ago to allow for you to sync up all your Instagram content to fan base, where you can just literally put in a link, and you ain't even gotta share, you ain't even gotta post something over there. You literally
I'm about to check it out.
Go copy a link, post it into your Instagram bio. Go type in your at name on fan base, and literally all of your content from Instagram will start to slowly populate into fan base. And again, the uniqueness of fan base is whoever follows you on fan base, all of them see your content. The last thing I say about fan base is there's two things you can do on fan base. You feel me? That's very unique to fan base. The first thing is when you go to fan base, you're able to do what you call like a picture, but you're also able to love a picture. The love equals half a penny. Each love equals half a penny. Feel what I'm saying? So you can have 2 followers, but you feel me? If your content comes up in the explore page, or it comes up on a thing, and they love that picture, you get bread from it. Also, there's a way for you to subscribe to content. I haven't even posted no subscription content yet. I haven't advertised for it yet, but somehow I already have 3 subscribers on fan base. You feel what I'm saying? So
they're ready for you
to be able to subscribe to content, and it'll be exclusive, where you can post it on your timeline. It'll show people on your timeline that you have exclusive content, but only people that can see it is people that, you know what I'm saying, that pay for the subscription. But there's multiple ways in you to monetize on fan base.
They moved to Android too now, right? Like within the
last. It's on Android as well.
I got it.
It's on Android now. Yeah, it's definitely on Android now.
And I'm the resident Android nigga. I've been had fan base for like a week now. I'm just too lazy to sign
fan
up.
Base on Android. You also able to go live on there. You also able to do like an audio kind of like Clubhouse feature. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Fan base is black owned. You feel me? And listen to my non-black people. Black owned does not mean black only. You feel me? Oh yeah, fan base right there, man. Fan base. You feel me? You know.
What's up, fan base? Go ahead and give us a you know what I mean? We giving you that promo. You know what I mean? Go ahead and
fan base right there. Y'all see the fan base app right there, man. Y'all make sure y'all go download it. You feel me? We still updating the app, you feel me? There's still bugs you ain't figured out and things like that, but it's still a great app right now, and it's definitely a way people slowly migrating over there. You feel me? Overnight, literally, it was like 250,000 posts made. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Isaac Hayes.
And TikTok think they slick, right? Because a part of the appeal to TikTok was that you got actual engagement. The reason why people don't fuck with Instagram or Facebook is because they geared their algorithm towards, if you're a content creator, you want to grow your shit through ads, like promotions. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you get more people to see your content. So they pushing you towards the monetization. TikTok didn't do that.
Doing that. Yeah, TikTok now got it where you and I got 1 million followers. TikTok, I'm gonna pay them one of my videos. It's like,
y'all boosted. I got 1 million. I'm bringing people on your site. They getting on to come see me for y'all. Damn, what else you want?
Right. Joy's the reason why I'm on TikTok. You feel me? It's like,
hey,
I mean, so we moving it over to fan base. You feel me?
Push fan base 5 times harder. I push TikTok like I was getting paid by them. Like I had stock in the company or something. You feel me?
Yeah.
Fan base, we doing something different. What up, Hugh? What up, Hugh Bay?
What up, Hugh? That's the manager. He came in looking in on the product. We working. We actually about to wrap it up, Hugh. So we appreciate you stopping in. But we've been doing our job.
Wrap it up, man.
He was ready. He came in here to be like, hey, it's an hour 18. What's up?
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
But we didn't talk about back to school. We didn't talk a little bit about this Afghanistan type situation. We know that things are yet unfolding in Haiti, and so we kind of tapped in on that a little bit. But I mean, it's Haiti has been left out to dry so much. It's hard to even overstand or overstate the state of affairs that they in between COVID, hurricanes, this earthquake, their president being assassinated. Like it's wild. So prayers out to Haiti. Like George mentioned, make sure you checking out who you giving aid to, who you sending your money to. Do not use the Red Cross. Do not use a lot of these common down. Do your research, figure out where your money is going, make sure it gets to the right place you want to go to. And then the last
right people.
Exactly. The last thing we just kind of got into was this whole blue check business. Definitely excited for the Conscious League, but asking some of the bigger questions about the implications of getting these checks, what you got to go to do to get them, how you keep them, how you keep people happy enough to make sure that you can get all the clout you need. And then, making sure y'all go check our fan base, because it cooks and it's growing. And we trying to, find a space where we can be heard, be shared, be appreciated for our voices and ideas. We don't want to feel like the plug feels with TikTok, which is I got heat for the niggas. I got heat for y'all.
I'm coming back though,
but I can't even.
I'm coming back.
I bet.
Shit. I got the comeback on the. I got the comeback work in the work. I'm TikTok. Y'all ain't about to scare me up. I had a son. I was moving, doing a lot of shit. But I'm coming back to TikTok. I'm gonna be on fan base. I'm gonna be on Instagram. If you are not subscribed to the political plug,
I'm discouraged either, man. I didn't about to say shit. I got three of my last 2 videos on TikTok ain't even hit 5,000 views, and shit. Both of them be posted. One of the videos posted 11 hours ago. It ain't got 5,000 views 11 hours ago. So sometimes
yeah.
But listen, we love y'all. Regardless, we on Facebook, we on YouTube. Y'all found us here, so we definitely appreciate y'all. Speaking of George getting the blue check on TikTok. If y'all are a part of the George crew, the political club plug. I'm not the political plug, the Conscious League crew that seen them on live one day or heard something about the podcast and popped over here and came over here from George, from the Conscious League specifically, is love to y'all. We appreciate y'all. Definitely love that y'all stopped through. Thank you to Noel. Thank you to Margot for showing love and dropping.
And everybody else. I
was in the middle of a sentence. I was in the middle of one. Thank you to them and everybody else who was ever. Hugh, love you, baby. Your dad is weird. Love everybody who has ever sowed a seed, ever dropped some cash in our hand. Y'all know this is a labor of love. We don't even come on here talking about asking for money and nothing like that, because it's just really about chopping up with the family. But we try to come with a decent show for y'all, so definitely appreciate y'all showing that appreciation. Hate to ask the question, but what happened to Over 30 Plug?
We got the new logo on the way, because we doing some rebranding, because we are focusing on the horoscope. Not even just horoscope. We're going way deeper than that. I hate that. She yeah, you know what I'm saying? The deeper sciences, you feel me? You know what I mean? So we got the new logo on the way. We having weekly conversations on the rebranding and coming back. So please, y'all stay tuned. It formerly known as the Over 30 Podcast. You know what I mean? We got a new name, new brand, and we doing big things. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Shout out to Tisha. Shout out to Tisha for sure.
Shout out to Tisha. Let me not forget. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? My dog.
Hey, but it's been fun. We should run. It's been a great night. Let's put y'all
know how it go. We're gonna end the show the same way we start the show. We out this thing.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside, and that's in the console.